Hey everybody, welcome back to the Dice Matrix. My name is E.T. and today we're going to learn how to play a game. That game is called Dungeon Draft. It's put out by Upper Deck and designed by Justin Gray. So let's get down to the table and let's start doing some drafting. So you're going to set up the table something like this. You're going to take this massive Dungeon Draft deck, which has nearly 200 cards in it, and you're going to set it up on the table. I sometimes will make two piles as one deck just to make it more manageable. You're going to have your quest cards out here, and then you're going to have your two different sets of tokens, basically where everybody can reach, which are gold tokens and experience point tokens, which the experience point tokens are just victory tokens, and they're both in the increments of 1, 5, and 10. Now each player is going to start the game with 9 coins, so each player will have their 9 coins, and that's what they're going to use to purchase the Dungeon Draft for deck cards, the draft cards. And then you're going to deal out 5 of these cards to each player, and then basically they're going to look at them secretly. You're going to select 3 of these, which will give you different abilities and stuff, and then you're going to take the other 2 face down and either return them here or someplace face down so nobody knows what you, because that's all secret information. So you have your 3 cards that you keep face down, hidden from all the other players, and then you're ready to get to the meat of the game. So you're going to choose a starting player, and then you're going to deal each player 7 cards. Now we have 7 cards in our hands. What do we do? Okay, well, we draft now. So what you're going to do is every player simultaneously is going to look at their hands and select a card that they want to keep. This looks pretty cool. So you'll put it in front of you face down, and then you'll pass your remaining 6 cards to your left. Likewise, from the player on your right, you will receive their 6 cards. And then you will pick another card, and everybody at the same time will draft another card, and then you'll pass 5, and you'll receive 5. And you'll continue one at a time, continually simultaneously, all the players drafting 1 card at a time and then passing until eventually you take your last card and you pass it to the person on your left, and likewise you receive the last card, which brings you back to 7 cards. But you have tried to make a few wise decisions along this way, right? Okay, this game takes place over 4 rounds, and during each one of those rounds, when you start at the drafting phase again, the next round you will actually pass to your right. The third round you will pass to your left, and the last, 4th, and final round you will pass to your right again. And during each one of those starting new turns, you will choose a new first player to go each time. Okay, now what are we going to do with those 7 cards? Well, we'll take a look at what we drafted. I like to organize them up pretty well here. And you got your 9 coins to start with here, 9 gold. And there's a bunch of different, let's just pull some cards over. So this is my hand, but let me just kind of show you the different cards in the game. They're kind of color coded. You have purple or rogue cards, blue or mages, green is from the druid clan, and red's from the warrior clan. And then you also have monsters in the game, okay? So things that you will fight. Now, here's the diagram of the card. In the top left is how much money it takes to put into play. This shows you that this is a weapon icon, and the only other icon that might go there is the hero icon. So you have weapons and heroes, and then of course the monsters are a little different. So anyway, these are the factions. This is the warrior faction right here. That's the druid faction. That's the mage faction. So just in case maybe someone's colorblind, you can also look at what faction that they're related to. Now, you'll also have these little kind of like this says League of the Phoenix. So there's things that say, it says, oh, this one will say gain 2 experience for each other League of the Phoenix hero you control. So this is like an affiliation. So basically everything's real simple. That shows you the cards of how they're affiliated. And then as you go down, this shows you at the end of the game how many XP or victory points you will get. And then like any flavor text here are special abilities. Now these special abilities only kick in for that round. So it happens like pretty much immediately. And then for the next round of drafting on your new set of cards, even though these cards stay in play, you wouldn't get that. So, and then these are monsters. On the monsters, there's the monster symbol, just verifying it's a monster. This is how many victory points this is worth. Now when you kill a monster, you'll immediately get the rewards. You'll take 5 victories. Since they don't stay in play, once you beat it, it'll leave, so you'd get the victory points in front of you instead of adding them up at the end of the game as you would with these other cards. But this shows you up here how much damage that you have to do to this card to make it go away. And you have to be able to do that immediately. If you can't do it during your round, your turn, then that card will end up being discarded. So let's just take a look at the cards I drafted. So I kind of organized them here. So I kind of stuck with some mages. I was very lucky to keep everything pretty much in a good way here. So I have my 9 gold. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play this mage card. Now, this is my turn. I'm like consider myself the first player, and I play as many cards as I can. Anything that I can't at the end of my personal turn before it goes to the next player is discarded. So I need to try to make the most efficient use of the cards that I have. So for 4 coins, I'd pay 4 coins back to the community pile there, and then I'd play this card. And this will sit in front of me. At the end of the game, it'll be worth the 2 victory points. And then it says, for the rest of this round, mage cards cost you 4 less gold to play. So I did draft another mage card, and he's only 2, so he cost me 2 less. Now this card here shows an ability. Now even though I could play this, but it says you may set aside a card from your current hand to add it to your new hand after the next round. So normally you have to discard your cards. But here's also a prerequisite. When you play this card, at the time that you play this card, and you can count this card itself, you need to have at least 2, it says the blue there, so you need to have 2 of the mage cards in play. I've already played a mage card. This is 4 less to play, so I don't have to spend any gold for it. And now I can set aside a card, because that ability is also triggered. And so I think I'll be able to play. I don't need to set aside a card, but maybe there was a monster I couldn't kill or something. But let's see how much money do I have. 3, 4. So I should be able to play all these. But if I wanted to, like let's say I had this guy in here and I needed 5 to kill him, I might want to hold back this zombie and try to kill him next round because of this ability. But anyway, what happens now is I can't even play these cards unless I have enough damage to kill these guys. So I'm going to pay... let's see, anything kick off of this? Oh, okay, that one I can't play that one until I get one into play. So I'll play this barbarian for 2. I will get 3 change, and basically on him this adds a combat icon. So that basically is like 1 damage. So every combat icon or how number it's set with it. So that sits in my tableau, and so now I have 1 combat. Well, now I'm going to play this one for 1 gold, and that gives me an additional 1 combat there. So now I have, oh, was there a number on that one? I should learn how to read my cards. Okay, that actually is a 2 combat, and that is a 1 combat. The symbol was a little darker than I thought. So I have a total of 3 combat power. I thought I drafted okay so I could kill that baby dragon. So I have basically 3 combat, and then for my, I got 2 gold left. I'm gonna go ahead and play this guy because even though he'll be the 3rd guy out there, I have at least 2 anyway. So I will gain 4 XP, and that's only immediately. Now, I don't gain that every round. Those abilities trigger only for this round. So I would gain 4 victory points immediately from the pile and then put them into my area. Okay, so now what can I do? I've played the 2 mages and these 3 guys. Now I have my monsters. So you can do this in any order to immediately get the reward. So I have 3 combat. So I'm going to play this and go, hey, my 3 combat kills this dragon. So I immediately will receive 3 gold and then send him away, because you can either beat them if you can't put them out there. And of course, I have 3 combat, so my 2 combat kills this guy, so I will get 3 victory points immediately. So I will collect that. Now, some of the monsters will trigger other abilities, but you'll have those victory points. And now all these cards will set in play until your next turn. Now your opponent will... next player will take his turn, and so on and so forth, and then you'll draft cards and repeat this process all over again. Now, about the quest cards that we had, you can look at these because you can play these anytime you're available to. And so basically, this is the prerequisite you have to have these quest cards that are secret information. So you're like, hey, I don't have that one, but if you have 3 mages and 3 rogues, you could do that. If I have 4 mages, which I have 2, but whenever you do, then you're allowed to play one of your 3 quest cards. So I don't have all those, but then at the end of the game, this will give me a 3-point victory. Now here's the only difference. Usually these are either a powerful trigger, or this is an ongoing ability, or it'll say that you can do this once a turn. So basically it says cards that cost 4 or more gold to play now cost you 2 less gold to play. Now, just by having this character in here, this activates a quest card, can activate every round. So unlike this mage card, which its ability is already gone, both of these cards are gone for its ability, even though the victory points are there. At the end of the game, these were 3 victory points for this quest, but This is an ongoing ability, and they have a bunch of different ones here. This one says this one's worth 3 victory points, and it says all cards cost you 2 less gold to play. So that's every card. And here's one that looks like the Ender's Game portal. And but if you have 3 mages and 3 rogues, gives you 2 victory. It adds 2 combat, and you immediately get to take 2 coins, which is pretty awesome. Now, coins at the end of the game don't give you anything extra, so you want to spend probably as much as you have or can, or try to save up if you think there's some big cards you might draft later on. But that's the long and short of it. At the very end of the round, you'll add up all the victory points from each card, and then all the victory point tokens, the experience tokens that you've picked up through the way, and whoever has the most is the winner. And that, my friends, is how you play Dungeon Draft. It's a very light, easy game. This isn't a review, but I would give it a 7.5. It's so fun and easy to play. I'm going to say, Upper Deck, good job. All right, friends, until next time, let's just keep the dice rolling and the cards flying. Can I get them over here? Let's see what I can do. Yeah.